This is the death of the dollar. It's the end of America. We're no longer going to be number one. We were number one back then. We got a debt. When you put the real debt, it's not 38 trillion. It's well over 100 trillion. When you put Social Security and all the other debt levels the country has. So gold prices, we're saying, are going to continue to escalate. Silver's going to continue to go. If gold prices stay this high in the 4,300, high 4,200 levels, by the end of the year, next year, you're going to see it spike again.
Reversals of the Federal Reserve policies paved the way to the increase of precious metals by 2024 and 2025. Following its aggressive increase of interest rates to over 5% by mid-2023 after keeping it near to zero in 2022, the Fed switched to a mode of easiness. By December 2024, it reached approximately 4.25 to 4.5%, which in its history favors assets with no yield, such as gold and silver. Simultaneously, the threat of worldwide currency devaluance increased the rate of demand on safe haven assets. The central banks of emerging markets progressively lost their dependence on the US dollar and accumulated more gold. The World Gold Council estimates that in 2024 central banks purchased 1,037 tons of gold, the second largest since the record high and a significant rise over 2023. This is a much bigger shift according to trend forecaster Gerald Celente. He comes out with the argument that the US dollar is depreciating and that the accurate debt in America actually is over $100 trillion when the liabilities of the future are factored in. Due to this, Celente will be of the opinion that gold and silver will keep rising. Let's dive into today's video to uncover some valuable insights. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update.
As we go on the air, we see gold was selling at $4,343 an ounce. $4,343 an ounce. Silver was up $1.04, $66.46. It's the death of the dollar. Trump is going to bring in a new Fed head, and they're going to lower interest rates to prop up the economy. The lower the interest rates fall, the deeper the dollar falls. The deeper the dollar falls, the higher gold prices go, because gold is dollar-based, so it's cheaper for other countries to buy gold. Number two, it's going up because of this socioeconomic and geopolitical uncertainty that we've never seen before. Now, I'm going back to China and Russia and the world before. Again, we only write the facts in the Trends Journal. Go back to October this year. Up until that time, the mainstream media, again, we subscribe to the toilet paper record, the New York Times, the Wall Street Journal, not a word about rising gold prices. And if it was, it would be the last paragraph on the market overview. Weren't talking about the spike in gold prices. Then when they started going up, they started comparing it to 1978. Nope, no comparison. Back then, you're talking about the dollar. Back then, the United States was number one. China's gross domestic product in 1978, $150 billion. All right. What's it now? Near 20 trillion. It's a different world. Why gold prices went up in 78, and again, wrote it's in my book, Trend Tracking. It's how I became a political atheist when the Iran conflict broke out, and they taught us to hate Iran without anybody knowing, of course, when I say anybody, 99.9% of the people knowing the United States overthrow of Mohammad Mossadegh in 1953 with the CIA and the MI6, because he said that oil does not belong to Anglo-Iranian oil, better known today as BP, or Standard Oil, better known today as ExxonMobil. It belongs to the Iranian people. No, it doesn't. They overthrew the government, brought in the Shah, the Savak, the secret police that made the SS look good. So when the revolution happened, I knew it was real. And that's when I started playing gold in oil futures. And that's when I retired, quit my job, and became a trend forecaster. There's no comparison between now and then. None. This is the death of the dollar. It's the end of America. We're no longer going to be number one. We were number one back then. We got a debt. When you put the real debt, it's not 38 trillion. It's well over 100 trillion. When you put Social Security and all the other debt levels the country has. So gold prices, we're saying, are going to continue to escalate. Silver's going to continue to go. And again, go back to October 16th, our podcast. I said there's going to be a correction in gold. I said gold's going to go down some $500 an ounce, and it did. And then we came back and we said, okay, here's the deal. Now that it's gone down, it has to solidify over $4,200 an ounce for several weeks. When it does that, you're going to see gold prices spike to above $5,000 an ounce. So now we're almost there. So if gold prices stay this high in the 4,300, high 4,200 levels, by the end of the year, next year, you're going to see it spike again.
The stock market has been overtaken by silver in 2025 by a long margin. Precious metals, particularly silver, have increased to their highest point, with silver rising up to approximately 130% year to year. However, major stock indexes have recorded lesser gains. Both the S&P 500 and Nasdaq experienced record closing highs throughout the year, but their gains have been much slower than the silver explosion. As an illustration, U.S. stock futures recorded relatively small increases in the recent sessions as S&P 500 and Nasdaq gained a fraction of a percent and precious metals recorded new highs. Gerald Celente says that the silver and gold price action speaks volumes. Celente feels that this trend does not end. To him, the world is preparing to face the fact that the situation in the world is growing worse. Now let's jump straight into the content.
Look at the price of what silver's gone up over 100% this year.
Mm-hmm.
Whether the S&P or Nasdaq or Dow go up, how much this year? You know, it's nothing compared to it.
Here's silver.
And it went. Gold is up over 50% this year. You know, so no, it's going to keep going. Again, the world is going to crap, and the people know it. And by the way, the other reason silver's going up, two reasons as we see it. Number one, a lot of people can't afford to buy gold, and they're buying silver. But number two, silver, with the whole AI world, you got a lot of silver in this stuff, in the chips and on, in the high-tech world is a lot of silver in it. So let's say your cell phone, dies, you throw the damn thing out, right? Well, it got silver in it. If your ring doesn't fit you anymore and you want to melt it down, you keep the gold, right? There are no silver deposits. There are gold deposits, but not silver. So demand for silver is going to keep increasing, whether it's for solar panels, high tech, or whatever. So silver is a commodity that's going to outpace copper at one time. They call it copper, which prices are way up, Dr. Copper, because copper represents where the economy is going. But that's not why the prices are going up. The economy is going down again. You got to look at, like you looked at the Brent crude numbers, and how what Brent crude was selling, probably about $20 more a barrel this year than last year at this time than this year. And the reason it's going down is that there's more supply than demand. Demand is going down. There's a global, it's not going to be stagflation. It's going to be dragflation, declining economic growth and rising inflation. And when you talked about CPI numbers that came out, totally fraudulent. Again, all the facts are there. Even the mainstream media is reporting it, because when when the government was locked down, they didn't report these numbers, those numbers. Oh, and look what they do with the job numbers. They come out with the job numbers, and then 2 months later, they say, oh no, they didn't go up that much. They went down that much. So it's a joke. It's a clown show. And when you put the real inflation numbers in, they're way higher than they are. And again, they changed that back in the 70s, 80s, the 80s and 90s. They readjusted the inflation numbers. Oh, housing prices? No. We look at all the rentals and no. They changed the whole thing. So it's much worse than it really is.
Heading into 2026 with near record gains at new all-time high prices, investors in precious metals are both bullish and committed to the asset class. The latest poll, taken by more than 1,500 investors, asked about their outlook and intentions for 2026. The vast majority expect gold and silver prices to extend this year's steep gains. They also expect to continue riding the bull market, maintaining or growing their own holdings. Do you think gold and silver will continue their bull run in 2026, or is a correction coming? How are you planning to position your portfolio? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for more updates. Thanks for watching.